You're probably a teenager. You probably feel lonely because you see everybody else with these perfect lives on social media. You see everybody else living a happy life with their girlfriend, boyfriend, whoever, whatever. And that just makes you feel lonely inside, and you need to find somebody too. But I'm telling you, that is not the reason you should look for love. You should find love in yourself before you find love in anybody else. You should focus on yourself before you focus on anybody else. Because if you don't love yourself, then what can you give to another person? Nothing. You can't give love to another person if you don't have love for yourself. You need to respect yourself. You need to be comfortable being alone with yourself, not being alone with somebody else. You need to be comfortable being lonely, because if you're not, you'll grow to hate yourself more and more every time you're alone. I met my girlfriend when I was about 14 or 15, and at the time I wasn't necessarily looking for anybody. When I approached her, I didn't even have any thought of, oh, I like this girl. I just approached her because we're at like a public pool or whatever, and I just said something to her. I wasn't looking for love. She wasn't looking for love, and to be honest, she seemed like she was irritated with me. Like she didn't want to talk to me because she looked like she didn't want to talk to anybody. But I approached her anyway, and then we became friends, and then a couple years later, we're like, oh wait, I think I like you. And so I wasn't necessarily looking for somebody to be happy with, to love, to share my life with. But then I found it by accident. So you shouldn't go out scouting looking for love, because that's just not how you find it. You shouldn't look for love when you're lonely. I know this one guy, and he's pretty lonely right now, and he's constantly trying to find love. He's going out looking for girls because he feels lonely. He doesn't want to feel lonely anymore. Well, that's not why you should go out and look for love, because then you're not loving somebody for them. You're not loving them for their authentic self. You're loving them because you're lonely and you don't want to feel lonely. And then when this guy finds somebody and they're hanging out or whatever, and then she has to go back to her house or to work or whatever, he's sitting alone, all lonely, and he misses her, and she's all he can think about, and he's depressed until she comes back around. And that's just not a healthy way to look at love or be in love. You should love somebody because you love them, not because they make you feel like you're not alone. And another point on that is, I used to know this girl, and she always felt lonely. She just always wanted to have somebody. And I don't really know why. She just she just always wanted to have somebody to call her boyfriend. And so she went through a couple guys, not like that, like just nice relationships. And then she settled for this one, and this guy, and she's been in and out of love and heartbroken so many times that she'll let people change her so they can love her. She'll let people change her so that she can be loved. You shouldn't look for love because you want to be loved. You should just be out being your authentic self, and then somebody will stumble into you. Because when I met my girlfriend, I was completely comfortable with myself, and I loved myself. And not to sound cocky or anything, but I was sort of a ladies' man when I was 14, 15, because I was cyber schooled my whole life, so I didn't really have anybody around me like to bully me in any sort of way. I was just comfortable being myself all the time. So when I went to this public pool, I was still comfortable just being myself, and everybody noticed that. They're like, wow, he really loves himself. And he's just like has this glowing energy around him because he's comfortable in his own skin. Whereas I feel people who go to public school, they kind of get bullied and they just feel like they have to act a certain way for people to like them. But you shouldn't have to change yourself for other people to like you. You should be yourself, and you need to find the people who will love you for yourself. Because if you see this girl and you think, wow, I want to go out with her, and you put on this fake face and you approach her so that way she'll like you, well then there's only two ways that can go. She'll eventually see your authentic self and not like it, and she'll leave you. Or you'll put on that fake face long enough that that fake face now becomes you. You are now that fake face. You changed yourself for somebody else to love you. So if you're a teenager and you're looking for love right now, look for love in yourself, because you are the most important person in this world. Self-love is the most important kind of love. But finding self-love is not an easy journey. So that might be a video for another day. I don't know. But for now, search up some videos on YouTube, whatever. Just focus on yourself and don't focus on other people. Be comfortable in your own skin. Be comfortable being by yourself. Be comfortable being lonely. Because once you have this dependency on other people to not feel lonely, well, when they leave you, that's all you can think about. Being lonely and missing them. I hope this video helped you. I hope you can find self-love. And I appreciate you for supporting me.